I don't know about you, but sometimes it's nice to know that a sapphic film you're about to watch will end well, because I have been burned a number of times before. Today we are up to part 5 of my series on film and TV with sapphic couples in them that won't break your heart because they have a happy ending. Let's start with My Days of Mercy, a movie from 2017 about Lucy, who is, along with her sister and brother, protesting the death penalty and trying to get their father off death row after he was convicted of killing their mother. Lucy meets Mercy, a lawyer and daughter to a cop who is tied up in Lucy's father's case, and despite the unwritten rule that they shouldn't, they start a romance. I haven't seen this movie, but with a powerhouse like Elliot Page in the lead, pre-transition of course, I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy the film. From the trailer, it looks like there is a tender love between the two. However, it also looks like it deals with some heavy themes, so it doesn't appear to be a joyous film, although according to Wikipedia, it ends on a happy note for the couple. A film that is a lot lighter is Do Revenge from 2022, a black comedy about two girls who, despite not knowing each other, decide to do revenge on each other's bullies. They grow close as they execute on their plan, but one of the girls, Eleanor, is hiding a secret. Eleanor is also a sapphic, and while on her quest, she meets Gabby, sister to one of the bullies. Their storyline is secondary and so doesn't feature heavily, but there is also some subtext between Eleanor and her newfound friend, Drea, and I was rather enjoying it. It's a fun, light-hearted film with a couple of satisfying twists and a happy sapphic ending. The Feels is about two sapphic ladies, Andy and Lou, who are engaged to be married and are throwing a bachelorette party by renting a house out of town and inviting everyone along. When Lou confesses that she's never had an orgasm, Andy is surprised and upset. It forces Andy and Lou to examine their relationship. It ends with the ladies still together, although I can't remember if it's also the other type of happy ending, if you catch my drift. I watched this movie a long time ago and I thought it was okay. There were some comedic elements that I thought worked, but it didn't quite hit the spot for me overall. I mean, it's better than many sapphic films out there because, let's not kid ourselves, genuinely good sapphic films don't always feel abundant, certainly not ones with happy endings. Carmilla the web series, which got very popular back in the mid-2010s, got a film as a sequel in 2017, where we check in on the two sapphic ladies, Carmilla, vampire turned human, and Laura. There seems to be a problem, namely that Carmilla is having some lapses that sees her vamping out, as they call it, and this leads Laura, Carmilla, and their gang of college friends to reunite in order to solve the mystery. I haven't seen it, so can't say much about it, except that it's very gay and has a happy ending. It looks like it's a bit of fun, and also has Dom Provost-Cholki of Winona Earp fame making an appearance, which is a bonus. Next, I have a Turkish film called Love Spells and All That, a movie that looks to be a bit of an art house film, and given it was recommended by one of you, my subscribers, I trust that it has a happy ending. I did try to verify but couldn't find a confirmation. The film itself does include a spell that Rayan had cast 20 years prior when the girl she fell in love with, Erin, was sent off to Paris for her education, hoping to bring her back. The spell perhaps has worked because Erin never forgot about her and has come back to the sleepy Turkish village in hope of rekindling a romance, but Rayhan, settled in her life, is reluctant to let Erin back in. This next one, Walk With Me, is a low-budget romantic drama about a woman who leaves her husband. While looking for a place to live, she meets a realtor who is also a musician, who, by the way, has a beautiful singing voice, and the friendship they develop turns to romance. Then, amidst divorce and creating a new life, she must also contend with her sexuality. It's a fairly easy and straightforward film. The first time I watched it, I didn't like it all that much, but then I wondered if I'd been too quick to judge, and maybe I was in a mood that day, and I found on my revisit that it was in fact very watchable, a soft and sweet film. If you want to check it out, you can by jumping over to Tubi, where it's available for free. Another film recommended to me by one of you in the comments is Love My Life, a 2006 film from Japan about two university students, Ichiko and Eri, who fall in love. When Ichiko comes out to her father, she's surprised to learn that there are a lot of gays in the family. Both her father and mother, it would seem. I haven't seen this one, but I did find a link to the movie here on YouTube with English subs, so the link is in the description. Then we have Out at the Wedding, a 2007 rom-com that is either awful or delightful, depending on which IMDb review you believe. Jeannie finds herself at the wedding of her estranged sister, where a rumor circulates that she is in a relationship with a woman when she's not, she's engaged to a black Jewish man, which apparently is worse. So when her family is chill with her fake girlfriend, she goes with it. Then her family comes to visit and they want to meet this girlfriend, so she hires one. Sounds like a fake relationship trope, and it sounds like fun. Let me mention the next briefly. Debs, the campy spy spoof rom-com that is altogether very ridiculous and a great amount of fun about a girl who is training to be a spy. When she bumps literally into the world's biggest criminal, Lucy Diamond, she doesn't expect there to be a spark, but there is, and that is a problem. The incredibly true adventure of two girls in love, where a young Laurel Holman falls in love with a girl from her school and they have to face their small town. The Intervention, a Clea Duvall film, from But I'm a Cheerleader, reunites some of the cast from the movie, and she and Natasha Lyonne are a couple who go to have a weekend with friends with the intention of staging an intervention for a couple of them. She also finds her head turned by a young and impish girlfriend to one of her friends, which causes friction in her relationship. Alto, where a young woman falls for the daughter of the leader of the mob, and letting both their families know is not necessarily straightforward. The next few are movies that are not explicitly a happy ending for the sapphic ladies, but do end on a hopeful or uplifting note. T11 Incomplete is another low-budget affair with Kate, a home aide to a young paraplegic woman, Laura, rebuilding her life after getting help for alcoholism. She and Laura's relationship evolves into an affair, but pressure in Kate's life leads her to betraying Laura. The ending is left somewhat ambiguous. It does show, however, that Kate is healing the relationship with her family. While this film is not joyful, it's a quiet, sometimes desperate look at a woman later in recovery. I thought it was well made and touching, and like I said, a positive, hopeful ending. The same can be said for the movie Heartland, about a woman, Lauren, whose partner has recently died, and she finds herself jobless and moving back in with a conservative mother. When her brother and his fiancée Nicole come to stay while on business, Lauren and Nicole connect. Each dealing with their own situation, they find solace in each other. This is a movie that I really enjoyed, and numbers among my favorites. It's a well-crafted script with good acting. I did a full review of this movie on this channel, link in the title cards, if you want to know more. And while it doesn't end with the happy sapphic ending we might want, the ending is still uplifting and it feels very fitting. The last entry is Princess Sid, which follows 16-year-old Sid, who goes to stay with her aunt in Chicago for the summer, and there she meets the local barista Katie, which blossoms into a summer romance. While they promise to keep in touch when Sid leaves at the end of summer to go back to South Carolina, I don't feel I can categorically call this a romantic happy ending. Although the relationship between Sid and her estranged aunt, which the movie is arguably primarily about, ends on a lovely note. It is a film that is hopeful and positive, allowing Sid to not only explore feelings for a woman, but also explore her gender expression while in a safe environment. Between all the parts I've made so far, we are now at 75 films with happy or at least positive endings for our sapphic protagonists, with at least one more part to come. So feel free to keep adding any you can think of. Until next time, lady lovers.